Those $30 million make up 17% of the state's education funding. And today, local leaders condemning the president and his timing. That was just by those two white doors that the concrete landing was. Police say it detached before collapsing, killing the 15-year-old girl. And just feet away, there's a memorial spreading where community members are paying their respects, laying candles, flowers, and cards. Well, location and quality are important to consider. Students that I spoke to said that price would be their determining factor. With current safety protocols across campus, such as the blue light system, students say that arming AUPD just feels unnecessary. Students tore down those barricades Sunday night before moving the encampment further out towards H Street, where they continue to protest and support. While it's finally warming up in D.C., crowds are coming out to the National Zoo to see none other than the giant pandas. These are heartbreaking stories to hear as people try to cool off in this heat wave. Good evening, I'm Julianne Sheehan. Pretty scary too, especially if you swim in these areas. NBC 10's Katie Benoit joins us live from Smithfield now with how swimmers are reacting. Well, it's a busy scene here in Stonington. 95 southbound has been shut down for over 6 hours now. The closure caused by a motorcycle accident between exits 90 and 91. Right before the crash, a bank robbery just 3 miles away. Police say the suspect fled the scene on a motorcycle, but aren't confirming the connection just yet. The victim's uncovered body laying feet away from his crushed blue bike for hours as police investigated the area. A witness describing the disturbing scene.
That is somebody's son right there, just laying in the road. If that was my son or daughter, I would be so upset right now. Why aren't they taking care of that?
And just last week, another robbery at a bank in Webster, Massachusetts. The suspect pictured here at the scene of that robbery riding a blue motorcycle similar to the one involved in the crash. I spoke with Webster Police Chief regarding a possible connection. Now, he said he couldn't comment on the investigation, but did say he is in contact with both Connecticut and Rhode Island authorities. Now, still a lot of unanswered questions about those two robberies and any connection they may have to the crash, but we'll be sure to bring you updates as they develop. In Stonington, Julianne Sheehan, NBC 10 News. Rhode Island state officials are gearing up to vote on the annual state budget, and if it's passed, you may feel an impact on your pocket.
My car takes super, the most expensive gas, so, that's all I need for it is to go up more.
Lawmakers are working to pass a $14.3 billion state budget. Included in the plan, a 2-cent per gallon increase to gas tax. With costs of living on the rise, Rhode Islanders are not too pleased with the added taxes.
The addition of inflation and food costs and housing costs, I think that's just one added burden for everybody.
And while 2 pennies may not sound like a lot, the taxes are expected to generate $9 million over the next year. Well, you may be dishing out more at the pump, but as for where that money generated is going, it'll help fill RIPTA's $32 million deficit. And while certain residents aren't upset about the increase, they aren't necessarily happy with where the tax money will be going.
If it went to something else other than that, come on.
Over 40,000 riders rely on RIPTA daily. However, far more Rhode Islanders use personal vehicles to get around. We spoke with Representative Mike Chippendale, who says further investment into the agency will help improve public transit in the state.
I think that's a good place for it to go if it has to go somewhere, but that doesn't mean I like the idea that we're increasing the gas tax.
While the budget proposal will give RIPTA an estimated $15 million in total, Chippendale says the agency needs to rethink their own budgeting practices if they want to fully close their deficit.
The buses aren't full to capacity, so the question as to why we have very expensive, very large empty buses is, I think, a valid question.
The House will be voting on the budget next Tuesday, and if passed, will take effect on July 1st. From outside the State House, Julianne Sheehan, NBC 10. While the temperature was below freezing at the HHS, protesters like Dr. Matthew Brown refused to let the cold stand in the way of their message.
I'm much more comfortable sitting behind a microscope than I am standing out here in the cold, but it's time for us to actually stand up and fight for what we think is right, which is taking care of Americans and their health.
Among the thousands of federal employees fired from their posts are hundreds of medical and scientific researchers. Protesters came together to rally for their colleagues and demand an end to layoffs and cuts to vital services. GW graduate researcher Kaylin Price says she is tired of begging for a livable wage from the government.
They are doing is theft. They are stealing from you, from from me.
Researchers were not alone in their fight today. U.S. representatives such as Senator Chris Van Hollen spoke to crowds in support of their demand. Van Hollen says he's looking to reach across the aisle and wishes Republicans would refocus their attention on standing up to the administration.
Defend the Constitution and stand up to this illegal takeover by Elon Musk at the direction of Donald Trump.
The D.C. protesters were only one group of a national day of action for academics today. For District Wire News, I'm Julianne Sheehan. Well, it's officially tourist season in Washington, D.C. Residents and visitors alike swarm the tidal basin for the annual Cherry Blossom Festival. While peak bloom was last week, the century-old festival is still drawing in crowds daily. Christina Baker of Northern Virginia was one of many visitors today. Baker reflects on the close community feel that defined her experience at the tidal basin.
It is a real nice sense of community. It's a real America moment. You know what I mean? Because everybody's just here enjoying it.
The festival attracts repeat sightseers who commit to coming out year after year, including Javier Yepes Vargas. Vargas spent the day enjoying his 9th visit to the festival, reflecting on his first time seeing the basin during peak bloom in 2017.
And I was just so amazed by all this beautiful trees. So it's great thing to see in the nation's capital.
The cherry blossoms aren't the only thing driving the crowds this year. Food trucks, merchandise booths, and performances by local musicians line the tidal basin for all to enjoy. For those who haven't had the chance to check the festivities out, the festival will be open until Sunday, April 13th. So bring your pet, bring your pal, and catch the beauty while you still can. For District Wire News, I'm Julianne Sheehan.